August 14th, 2023. 11:47 p.m. A modest two-story house in Sugar Land, Texas sits quiet under the humid summer night. Inside, Michael Torres scrolls through his wife's laptop while she sleeps upstairs, their two children tucked safely in their rooms. He's looking for the hotel confirmation for their anniversary trip next month. What he finds instead are flight itineraries to Dubai. First class. Departing in 3 days. A luxury hotel booking at the Burj Al Arab. And text messages that make his blood run cold. I can't wait to see you again. This time, no interruptions. 3 days until you're in my arms. I've missed you so much. Tell your husband you're visiting your sister. He'll never know. Michael's hands shake as he scrolls further back. Months of messages. Photos of his wife, Rebecca, in designer dresses he's never seen. Videos of her laughing at expensive restaurants. Screenshots of wire transfers. $15,000, $8,000, $12,000. All from someone named Rashid Al-Mansour. The man his wife has been having an affair with for 8 months. The man who lives in a penthouse in Dubai. The man she's planning to meet in 3 days. Michael closes the laptop carefully. His breathing is shallow, controlled. He walks to the kitchen drawer where they keep the emergency cash. Pulls out the car keys. Looks up at the ceiling, toward the bedroom where his wife of 12 years sleeps peacefully, unaware that her husband has just discovered her double life. What happens in the next 72 hours will destroy 2 families, end multiple lives, and expose a web of deception that started with a single message on Instagram. Welcome to True Crime Dossier. Thank you to our incredible viewers and subscribers for your continued support. What you're about to hear is a story about love, betrayal, obsession, and the deadly consequences when 2 worlds collide. This is the true story of Rebecca Torres, the Texas mother who thought she could live 2 lives. She was wrong. Rebecca Martinez was born in 1987 in Laredo, Texas, right on the border between 2 worlds. Her parents, Maria and Carlos Martinez, ran a small grocery store that served the local Mexican-American community. Money was always tight, but love was abundant. From an early age, Rebecca understood the concept of sacrifice. Her mother worked 14-hour days at the store while her father drove trucks to supplement their income. Rebecca wore hand-me-downs from older cousins, shared a bedroom with her 2 sisters, and learned to stretch every dollar. But she also learned something else. She wanted more. Not more love. Her family gave her plenty of that. She wanted more life. More excitement. More luxury. More of the world she saw on television and in magazines, where women wore beautiful clothes and traveled to exotic places and didn't worry about whether they could afford new school shoes. High school teachers remember Rebecca as charming, ambitious, and incredibly social. She wasn't the smartest student, but she was the most likable. She knew how to talk to people, how to make them feel special, how to get what she needed. Rebecca could walk into any room and make friends immediately, her high school guidance counselor later recalled. She had this magnetic quality. People were drawn to her energy. That energy caught the attention of Michael Torres during their senior year. Michael was different from the other boys Rebecca dated. He was steady, reliable, responsible. His family owned a successful HVAC business, which meant he had a clear career path and financial stability. Michael fell hard for Rebecca. She made him feel alive in ways no one else had. She laughed at his jokes, encouraged his dreams, made him believe he could be more than just another small business owner in South Texas. They married in 2009, right after graduating from community college. Rebecca was 22, Michael was 23. The wedding was modest but beautiful, held at the same church where Rebecca had been baptized. For the first few years, everything seemed perfect. Michael took over his father's HVAC company and expanded it significantly. By 2015, Torres Climate Control was one of the most successful HVAC businesses in the Houston metro area, employing 15 people and generating over $1 million in annual revenue. Rebecca became a full-time mother after their daughter Emma was born in 2011, followed by their son Lucas in 2013. She threw herself into the role with the same energy she brought to everything else, volunteering at their schools, organizing neighborhood events, maintaining a pristine home. From the outside, the Torres family looked like the American dream realized. A successful small business, 2 healthy children, a nice house in a good neighborhood, family vacations to Disney World and the Grand Canyon. But Rebecca was restless. The restlessness started slowly, almost imperceptibly. She'd scroll through Instagram for hours, looking at influencers traveling to exotic locations, wearing designer clothes, living lives that seemed impossibly glamorous. She'd watch YouTube videos about luxury hotels in Dubai, Paris, the Maldives, places she'd never been and, on Michael's income, probably never would visit. It wasn't that they were poor. Torres Climate Control provided a comfortable middle-class lifestyle. They could afford a nice house, reliable cars, good schools for the kids. But comfortable wasn't enough for Rebecca anymore. She wanted to feel special again. Wanted to feel like she had when she was young, and the whole world seemed full of possibilities. Wanted to be more than a suburban mom in Sugar Land, Texas. Her best friend, Carmen Valdez, noticed the change around 2019. She started talking differently about her life. Carmen would later tell investigators. She'd make comments about feeling trapped, about wondering what she'd missed by getting married so young. She'd say things like, "Is this all there is? I thought it was just normal midlife questioning. I didn't think she'd actually do something about it." But Rebecca was already doing something about it. November 3rd, 2022. A Thursday afternoon. Rebecca is at Target, killing time while the kids are at soccer practice. She's scrolling through Instagram, looking at travel photos, when a direct message notification pops up. The profile shows a handsome man in his late 30s, standing in front of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. His bio reads, entrepreneur, world traveler, looking for authentic connections. The message is simple. Your smile caught my attention. You have beautiful energy. Rebecca should delete it. She's married. She's a mother. She's in the middle of Target with a cart full of groceries. Instead, she reads his profile. Rashid Al-Mansour. Born in Lebanon, raised in London, now living in Dubai. Photos of luxury hotels, private jets, expensive restaurants. A life that looks like it's from a movie. She tells herself she's just curious. That there's no harm in responding. That it's just a conversation. She types back, "Thank you. That's kind of you to say." The response comes immediately. "I hope I'm not being too forward. I rarely reach out to strangers, but something about your profile made me want to know more about you." And just like that, the door opens. For the first few weeks, the messages are innocent. Rashid asks about her life, her interests, her dreams. He's charming, articulate, interested in her thoughts in a way that Michael hasn't been in years. Michael loves her, she knows that. But Michael is always tired, always stressed about the business, always distracted by invoices and employee problems and broken air conditioners. When was the last time he asked about her dreams? Rashid asks about her dreams every day. He tells her about his work in international real estate development. He shares photos of properties he's building in Dubai, London, New York. He talks about art, culture, philosophy. Things Rebecca never gets to discuss in her daily life of carpools and grocery shopping. By December, they're talking every day. By January, they're video chatting late at night after Michael falls asleep. By February, Rebecca is looking forward to Rashid's messages more than anything else in her day. She knows it's wrong. She knows she's crossing lines. But it doesn't feel wrong. It feels like she's finally being seen, finally being appreciated for who she is beyond Michael's wife, or Emma and Lucas's mom. In March 2023, Rashid sends her a gift. A designer handbag from Paris, shipped directly to her friend Carmen's house so Michael won't see it. The note inside reads, "For a beautiful woman who deserves beautiful things." Rebecca cries when she opens it. Not because of the bag itself, but because someone is treating her like she matters. Like she's special. She tells herself she'll stop. That this has gone far enough. That she needs to focus on her marriage and her family. But then Rashid makes his first financial transfer. "I know you mentioned wanting to update your wardrobe," he writes. "Please let me help. Consider it a gift from a friend who wants to see you happy." The Zelle payment is for $2,000. Rebecca stares at her phone for 10 minutes. She should refuse it. She should block him. She should confess everything to Michael. Instead, she accepts it. And that's when everything changes. The money changes things. Not because Rebecca needs it. The Torres family is financially comfortable, but because it represents something deeper. It represents freedom. It represents being valued. It represents a life beyond the one she's living. Rashid sends money every few weeks. Sometimes $1,000, sometimes $3,000, sometimes more. He says he enjoys helping her feel confident and beautiful. He says his wealth means nothing if he can't share it with people who make him happy. Rebecca uses the money carefully. Designer clothes that she tells Michael she found at consignment shops. Spa days that she claims are paid for by Carmen. New jewelry that she says was on sale. Michael doesn't question it. Why would he? His wife deserves nice things, and if she's finding deals, good for her. What Michael doesn't know is that Rebecca has opened a separate bank account. That she's started lying about her whereabouts. That she's created an entirely separate life that exists only on her phone. By May 2023, Rebecca and Rashid are talking about meeting in person. I need to see you, Rashid writes. To hold you. To show you the life we could have together. Rebecca's response should be immediate refusal. She's married. She has children. She has a life in Texas. But instead, she writes, I want that too. But how? The plan forms over weeks of careful discussion. Rebecca will tell Michael she's going to visit her sister in Phoenix for a long weekend. She'll actually fly to Dubai. Rashid will pay for everything, the flights, the hotel, everything. Just 4 days. Just to see if what they feel through screens translates to real life. Rebecca knows it's insane. Knows it's wrong. Knows it could destroy her marriage and her family. But she's already gone too far to turn back now. She's already lying to her husband every day. She's already accepting money from another man. She's already emotionally unfaithful. What difference does physical distance make? June 12th, 2023. Rebecca books the flight to Dubai, departing July 1st. She tells Michael she's going to Phoenix to help her sister Lucia, who's supposedly going through a difficult divorce. Michael believes her completely. He's never had a reason not to trust his wife. The trip lasts 4 days. 4 days in the most luxurious hotel Rebecca has ever seen. 4 days of being treated like royalty. 4 days of private dinners, exclusive clubs, endless champagne, and a man who makes her feel like the most important person in the world. Rashid is everything his messages promised: charming, attentive, generous. He shows her Dubai like a personal tour guide. Takes her shopping in designer stores where she can buy anything she wants. Introduces her to friends as my special guest from Texas. He doesn't pressure her physically. Doesn't make demands. Just shows her what life could be like if she chose him instead of Michael. On the last night, overlooking the city from his penthouse, Rashid takes her hands. I know this is complicated, he says. I know you have a life in Texas. But Rebecca, I'm falling in love with you. I want you in my life. Really in my life. Not just on a screen. Rebecca is crying. Because she feels the same way. Because she doesn't want to go back to being a suburban housewife. Because for 4 days, she's been someone else. Someone exciting, someone valued, someone living the life she always dreamed about. I don't know how, she whispers. You don't have to decide now, Rashid says. But think about it. Think about what makes you happy. Think about whether you want to spend the rest of your life wondering what could have been. Rebecca flies home on July 5th. Michael picks her up at the airport, asks how her sister is doing, comments that she looks rested and happy. Phoenix was good for you, he says, completely unaware that his wife has just returned from 4 days in the arms of another man. That night, lying in bed next to her husband while he sleeps, Rebecca makes a decision. She's going back to Dubai. She's going to see Rashid again. And this time, she's going to figure out how to make this double life sustainable. Because she can't give up either world. Can't give up her children, her family, her life in Texas. But also can't give up the feeling of being special, being desired, being more than just another suburban mother. She thinks she can manage both. Keep Michael happy, keep Rashid happy, keep everyone in their separate worlds that never touch. She has no idea that Michael is already starting to notice things don't quite add up. July 2023. Michael Torres is not a suspicious man by nature. He trusts his wife, loves his family, focuses on his work. But something shifts after Rebecca's Phoenix trip. She's different. Not in obvious ways, but in small things that nag at him. She's on her phone constantly, always angled away so he can't see the screen. She takes calls outside, claims they're from Carmen or her sister. She started dressing differently, more stylish, more expensive-looking clothes that she says she's buying at consignment shops. She seems happier, which should be good. But there's something about how she's happy that bothers him. She's happy in a way that doesn't include him. Like she has a secret source of joy that exists separately from their family. The HVAC business is doing well, so Michael has more time at home. He notices patterns. Rebecca is always showering right when he gets home, before he can hug her. She's changed her phone passcode. She started a new workout routine that involves being gone for 3 hours at a time. In early August, Michael asks Carmen about Rebecca's Phoenix trip at a neighborhood barbecue. Just casual conversation. How's her sister doing? The divorce stuff must have been rough. Carmen looks confused. What divorce? Michael feels his stomach drop. Lucia's divorce. That's why Rebecca went to help her in July. Carmen's face changes. She realizes she's just revealed something she shouldn't have. Oh, right. Yeah. The divorce. It's hard. But Michael can read people. It's part of running a business, knowing when someone is being honest and when they're covering something up. Carmen is covering something up. That night, he tries to look at Rebecca's phone while she's in the shower. It's locked with a passcode he doesn't know. They've always known each other's passcodes. Always. He feels something cold settle in his chest. The beginning of doubt. The first crack in trust. August 10th. Michael is at the office when one of his employees, David Chun, mentions seeing Rebecca at an expensive restaurant in the Galleria area. She looked great, man. All dressed up. Must have been a special occasion. Michael smiles, plays it off. Yeah, she had lunch with some friends. But Rebecca never mentioned going to the Galleria. Never mentioned an expensive lunch. He knows because they discuss their schedules every morning, coordinating around the kids' activities. He starts paying closer attention. Notices that Rebecca's gym time often coincides with $200 charges on their credit card at upscale boutiques. Notices that she's vague about where she's been when he asks directly. Notices that she started deleting her text message history. Michael isn't the jealous type. Isn't the controlling type. But he's also not stupid. Something is going on. And whatever it is, Rebecca is hiding it from him. August 13th, Sunday evening. Rebecca says she needs to run to Target for groceries. She's gone for 3 hours. When she comes back, she has 2 bags of items they didn't need. Michael doesn't confront her. Not yet. Because he's still hoping there's an innocent explanation. Maybe she's planning a surprise for him. Maybe she's dealing with some health issue she's embarrassed about. Maybe it's something completely benign that he's misreading. But the doubt is there now, growing like a tumor, making him question everything. Every smile, every I love you, every kiss goodnight. Are they real, or is she performing for him while living some other life he knows nothing about? August 14th. The anniversary trip conversation. Michael brings it up at dinner. Their 12th anniversary is coming up in September. He wants to do something special. Maybe that romantic getaway to Napa Valley she's always talked about. We could leave the kids with your parents for a long weekend, he suggests. Just us. Wine tasting, nice dinners, reconnect. Rebecca's response is odd. She seems uncomfortable, evasive. That sounds nice, but maybe we should wait. The kids have so much going on with school starting. And September is busy for the business, right? Michael pushes gently. We can make it work. When was the last time we did something just for us? I know, but... Rebecca trails off, looks at her phone. Can we talk about this later? I need to check on something. She leaves the table, takes her phone into the bedroom, closes the door. Michael sits there, looking at his kids eating dinner, feeling something inside him start to break. That night, after everyone is asleep, Michael makes a decision. He needs to know what's going on. He hates the idea of invading his wife's privacy, but the alternative, continuing to live with this growing dread and uncertainty, is worse. He knows Rebecca keeps her laptop in her home office. She uses it for managing the kids' schedules, organizing family photos, shopping online. She usually leaves it open, never worried about him seeing anything. 11:47 p.m. Michael walks downstairs to the home office. The laptop is closed but not locked. He opens it. He's looking for the hotel confirmations for their anniversary trip, thinking maybe she's already started planning something and wants to surprise him. What he finds instead changes everything. An open Gmail tab. An account he didn't know existed. Rebecca Martinez 2023@gmail.com. And messages. Hundreds of messages. From someone named Rashid Al-Mansour. Michael's hands start shaking as he scrolls through them. I can't stop thinking about our time together in Dubai. You are even more beautiful in person than in your photos. The $12,000 is in your account. Buy yourself something that makes you feel as special as you are to me. I'm counting the days until I see you again. August 17th can't come soon enough. August 17th. 3 days away. Michael opens Rebecca's email sent folder. Finds her flight itinerary. First class to Dubai. Departing August 17th, returning August 21st. Hotel booking at the Burj Al Arab, the most expensive hotel in Dubai. The same dates. He opens WhatsApp on the laptop. Finds their conversation thread. Photos of Rebecca in clothes he's never seen. Videos of her laughing at restaurants he's never heard of. Screenshots of wire transfers. $15,000, $8,000, $12,000. 8 months of messages. 8 months of lies. 8 months of his wife building an entire relationship with a man in Dubai while pretending to be a devoted wife and mother. Michael closes the laptop carefully. His breathing is shallow. His vision is blurring. He walks to the kitchen, grips the edge of the counter. His wife is having an affair. His wife is planning to fly to Dubai in 3 days. His wife has been lying to him for 8 months. Everything he thought was real, his marriage, his family, his life, is a performance. A lie. Michael looks at the ceiling, toward the bedroom where Rebecca sleeps peacefully, toward the rooms where his children sleep, unaware that their family is about to explode. He has 3 days before his wife gets on that plane. 3 days to decide what he's going to do about it. Michael doesn't sleep. He sits in his car in the driveway from midnight until dawn, reading through every message, every email, every photo on that laptop, building a timeline of his wife's betrayal. November 2022, first contact. February 2023, first money transfer. July 2023, Rebecca's Phoenix trip was actually Dubai. She spent 4 days with Rashid Al-Mansour. 4 days lying to Michael's face about visiting her sister. August 2023, another trip planned. Bigger lies. More deception. By the time the sun rises on August 15th, Michael has made a decision. He's not going to confront Rebecca yet. Not going to blow up their family in a screaming match in front of the kids. He's going to do something else. Something that terrifies and shames him, but feels like the only way forward. He's going to follow her to Dubai. The plan forms quickly. Michael tells his assistant manager, Jorge Martinez, that he needs to handle some urgent business in Houston for a few days. He'll be reachable by phone but won't be in the office. He books a last-minute flight to Dubai, departing August 17th, the same day as Rebecca's flight, but on a different airline, different time. He arranges for his parents to watch Emma and Lucas, telling them Rebecca is visiting her sister again and he has emergency business meetings. He tells no one the truth. Not his parents, not his friends, not even his brother. Because if he says it out loud, it becomes real in a way he's not ready to handle yet. August 16th. Rebecca is packing. She's cheerful, energetic, excited. She tells Michael she's going to visit Lucia again. Her lawyer is pushing hard on the settlement, and she needs emotional support, Rebecca says, folding designer dresses into her suitcase. I'll be back Sunday night. Michael watches her pack clothes he's never seen, jewelry he doesn't recognize, the designer handbag that supposedly came from a consignment shop. He watches her lie to his face with practiced ease. "Give Lucia my best," he says quietly. That night, they have sex. Rebecca is responsive, affectionate. Tells him she loves him. Kisses him goodbye. Michael lies awake afterward, feeling like he's in a nightmare. This woman beside him, the mother of his children, his wife of 12 years, has become a stranger. Someone who can lie with such ease it's like breathing. August 17th, 5:30 a.m. Rebecca's taxi arrives. She kisses Michael, kisses the still sleeping kids, reminds him about Emma's soccer practice and Lucas's dentist appointment. "I love you," she says at the door. "I love you too," Michael replies. The words taste like poison. 3 hours later, Michael boards his own flight to Dubai. Business class, paid for with a credit card Rebecca doesn't know about. He brings nothing but a small bag, his passport, and a rage that feels like it's burning him alive from the inside. The flight is 15 hours. 15 hours to think about everything his wife has done. 15 hours to imagine what she's doing on her own flight. Probably texting Rashid. Probably excited about seeing her lover. 15 hours to think about what he's going to do when he finds them together. Because Michael has made another decision during those sleepless hours of reading his wife's messages. He's not going to just confront them. He's not going to just expose the affair. He's going to make them pay. August 17th, 10:30 p.m. Dubai time. Michael checks into a modest hotel near the Burj Al Arab. Not the same hotel where Rebecca is staying. He can't risk her seeing him, but close enough to get to her quickly. He hasn't eaten all day. Hasn't slept in 36 hours. His hands shake when he tries to hold his phone. But his mind is clear. Sharper than it's ever been. Focused on one thing. Finding his wife and the man who destroyed his marriage. Rebecca's flight landed 2 hours before his. She's probably already at the Burj Al Arab. Probably already with Rashid. Michael feels bile rise in his throat. His wife. In another man's arms. In another country. While their children sleep safely in their grandparents' house, believing their mother is visiting Aunt Lucia. He opens the laptop he brought. Uses a VPN to access Rebecca's email. Wants to see if she sent any messages since landing. She has. To Rashid. Just arrived. Room is incredible. Can't wait to see you. The response came immediately. I'm in the lobby. Come down when you're ready. That message was sent 40 minutes ago. Michael stands up. Paces the small hotel room. His heart is racing. His vision is tunneling. He imagines walking into the Burj Al Arab lobby. Imagines finding them together. Imagines. No, not like that. Not public. Not sloppy. He needs to be smart. Needs to think. Michael sits back down. Forces himself to breathe. To plan. He didn't fly halfway across the world to get arrested for assault in a hotel lobby. He's going to follow them. Document everything. Get evidence. Photos, videos, concrete proof that will destroy Rebecca in any divorce proceedings. Proof that will show his kids, when they're old enough, that their mother chose to abandon them for a man in Dubai. August 18th. Michael wakes at dawn after 3 hours of fitful sleep. He positions himself across the street from the Burj Al Arab, watching the entrance. At 10:15 a.m. they appear. Rebecca and Rashid Al-Mansour. Michael has seen photos of Rashid from the messages, but seeing him in person is different. He's tall, well-dressed, confident. He touches Rebecca's lower back as they walk to a waiting car. She laughs at something he says. She looks happy. Genuinely happy. Happier than Michael has seen her in years. The rage that floods through him is so intense he can barely see. This man, this stranger, knows his wife's laugh, her smile, her body. This man has taken everything Michael worked for, everything he built. And Rebecca gave it to him willingly. Michael follows them in a taxi. They spend the day shopping in luxury stores, eating at expensive restaurants, walking along the marina like tourists. Like a couple. Like they're not destroying a family 8,000 miles away. Michael takes photos of everything. Every touch, every smile, every kiss. Building his case. Documenting the betrayal. August 19th, same pattern. But now Michael notices something new in Rebecca's body language. She's not just happy, she's in love. She looks at Rashid the way she used to look at Michael in their early dating years. Like he hung the moon. That night, Michael watches them enter the hotel together around 11 p.m. Watches the lights in what must be Rashid's penthouse suite turn on. Imagines what they're doing up there. He sits on a bench outside the hotel until dawn, crying in a way he hasn't cried since his father died. Mourning the death of his marriage, his family, his life. August 20th. Final day of Rebecca's trip. Tomorrow she flies back to Texas, back to the house she shares with Michael, back to their children. Back to pretending to be a devoted wife and mother. Michael follows them one last time. Breakfast, shopping, a long walk along the beach. They look like any couple in love. Beautiful, happy, completely absorbed in each other. At 4 p.m., Rashid drops Rebecca at the hotel. They kiss goodbye at the entrance, a long, lingering kiss that Michael captures on video. Then Rashid leaves. And Rebecca goes back to her room alone. Michael waits 30 minutes. His heart is pounding so hard it feels like it might burst. His hands are shaking. His entire body is shaking. He walks into the Burj Al Arab. Takes the elevator to the floor where Rebecca's room is located. He memorized the room number from her hotel confirmation. Room 2847. Michael stands outside the door. He can hear movement inside. Probably Rebecca packing, getting ready for her flight tomorrow. His hand is on the door handle. He could knock. Could confront her right now. Could. But something stops him. Some rational part of his brain that whispers, not here. Not in Dubai. Not where you have no power, no leverage, no control. Wait until she's home. Wait until she's back in Texas, where you can control the narrative. Where you have evidence, witnesses, legal recourse. Michael backs away from the door. Returns to his own hotel. Books a flight back to Houston departing 2 hours before Rebecca's. He's going to be home when she arrives. Going to be waiting with all the evidence he's collected. Going to watch her walk in the door with her suitcase full of lies. And then he's going to make her pay for every single moment of betrayal. August 21st, 3:30 p.m. Michael lands in Houston. He goes straight home, arriving at 5:45 p.m., hours before Rebecca's flight lands. His parents bring Emma and Lucas home. The kids are excited to see him, full of stories about their weekend with Grandma and Grandpa. "Where's Mom?" Emma asks. "Her flight lands in a few hours," Michael says, hugging his daughter tight. "She'll be home for bedtime." After his parents leave and the kids are settled watching TV, Michael goes to his home office. Transfers all the photos and videos from Dubai to a secure folder. Prints out key messages from Rebecca's laptop. Organizes everything chronologically. The evidence is overwhelming. Months of messages, financial transfers, 2 trips to Dubai, lies upon lies upon lies. Michael sits at his desk, looking at the printed messages, and feels something cold settle over him. Not just anger anymore. Something colder. More calculating. More permanent. His marriage is over. That's not in question. But how it ends, that's what he can still control. He could file for divorce quietly. Could use the evidence to ensure he gets custody of the kids and a favorable settlement. But that doesn't feel like enough. Doesn't feel like justice for what Rebecca has done. Michael opens his laptop. Starts researching. Reading about international fraud, financial crimes, custodial interference. Building a plan that goes beyond simple divorce. He's going to destroy Rebecca's life the way she destroyed his. Not with violence. With something worse, exposure. He's going to make sure everyone knows what she did. Her family, his family, their friends, their children's schools. He's going to make sure that when people hear Rebecca Torres's name, they think adulteress and liar. And he's going to make sure Rashid Al-Mansour faces consequences too. 10:15 p.m. Rebecca's taxi pulls into the driveway. Michael is sitting in the living room, lights off, waiting. He hears her key in the lock. Hears her suitcase wheels on the tile. Hears her call out quietly, "Michael? Kids." Kids are asleep, he says from the darkness. We need to talk. Rebecca freezes in the entryway. He can see her silhouette against the hallway light. About what? Her voice is careful now. Guarded. Michael turns on the lamp beside him. The light reveals his face, calm, cold, empty of the warmth that was always there before. About your trip to Dubai. The silence that follows is absolute. Rebecca's face drains of all color. I was in Phoenix. I followed you. Michael's voice is quiet, controlled. I was there. I watched you with him. I have photos, videos, messages. Everything. Rebecca makes a sound like she's been punched. Staggers backward. Drops her suitcase. Michael. Don't. He holds up his hand. Don't lie to me anymore. I know everything. Rashid Al-Mansour. The money. July's trip. All of it. Rebecca starts crying. Big, heaving sobs that shake her whole body. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I never meant. You never meant what? Michael stands up. His voice is still quiet, but there's something in it that makes Rebecca back up another step. You never meant to have an affair? Never meant to steal money from our joint account to fund your trips? Never meant to lie to your children's faces about where you were going? It's not like that. Then what is it like? Explain it to me. Make me understand how my wife of 12 years, the mother of my children, decided to fuck some guy in Dubai while I took care of our kids and ran our business. Rebecca flinches at his language. Michael never swears, never raises his voice, never loses control. But he's losing control now. She can see it in his eyes, something breaking, something dangerous emerging. I was lonely, she whispers. You were always working, always focused on the business, and I just wanted to feel special again. So you found a billionaire in Dubai to make you feel special? Was I not enough? Was our family not enough? It wasn't about you. It was all about me. Michael's voice explodes through the house. Every lie you told, every night you spent with him, every time you kissed our kids goodbye to go fuck your lover, it was all about us. About what you were willing to destroy for some fantasy. Rebecca is sobbing so hard she can barely breathe. I love you, I love our kids, I never wanted to hurt. But you did hurt us. You destroyed us. And now I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly what kind of person you are. Rebecca's tear-streaked face looks up at him. What are you going to do? Michael's smile is cold. I'm filing for divorce tomorrow. I'm using every piece of evidence I have to ensure I get full custody of Emma and Lucas. I'm going to tell your parents, my parents, our friends, everyone at the kids' schools, everyone we know, what you did. I'm going to make sure that when our children are old enough, they know their mother chose a man in Dubai over them. No, please, you can't, the kids. You should have thought about the kids before you started this. Michael picks up the folder of printed evidence from the side table. Throws it at her feet. Read these. Look at what you've done. Look at how easily you lied to people who loved you. Rebecca picks up the papers with shaking hands. Sees her own messages, her own words, her own betrayals printed in black and white. I can explain. No more explanations. No more lies. You're going to sleep in the guest room tonight. Tomorrow morning, you're going to tell Emma and Lucas that mommy made some bad choices and mommy and daddy are going to live separately now. Michael, please, we can fix this. There is no fixing this. His voice drops to a whisper. You killed us, Rebecca. You killed our marriage, our family, our life together. And now you're going to live with that. Forever. He walks past her toward the stairs. Stops at the bottom. I'm going to bed. When I wake up, I don't want to see you anywhere near me. We'll coordinate around the kids, but you and I were done. Michael climbs the stairs. Goes into their bedroom. Locks the door. Behind him, he can hear Rebecca collapsing on the floor, sobbing. He feels nothing. No satisfaction, no relief. Just emptiness. His marriage is over. His family is broken. And tomorrow, everyone will know why. August 22nd, 7 a.m. Michael wakes Emma and Lucas for school. They're confused about why Mom slept in the guest room, but he keeps his tone light, tells them she wasn't feeling well. At 8:30 a.m., after the kids leave for school, Michael calls his lawyer. Explains everything. provides the evidence. His lawyer, Patricia Morales, is silent for a long time after hearing the story. "This is going to be ugly," she finally says. Infidelity cases always are, especially with international components and financial transfers. But with this much evidence, you'll get everything you're asking for: full custody, favorable property division, the works. "Good," Michael says. "File the papers today." At 10 a.m., Michael goes to see Rebecca's parents, Carlos and Maria Martinez, at their store in Laredo. He brings the folder of evidence. Maria cries when she reads the messages. Carlos looks like he's aged 10 years in 10 minutes. "I don't understand," Maria whispers. "We raised her better than this. How could she, with the children?" "I'm sorry to do this," Michael says quietly. "But you needed to know the truth." At noon, Michael tells his own parents. His mother, Rosa Torres, reacts with fury. "That ungrateful, after everything you've done for her. How dare she?" His father, Eduardo, is quieter but equally angry. "What do you need from us, Mijo? Help with the kids. This is going to be hard for them. They're going to need stability." "They'll have it," Eduardo promises. By 2 p.m., the divorce papers are filed. Rebecca is served at the house by a process server. She calls Michael immediately, hysterical. "You filed? Already? We didn't even talk." "There's nothing to talk about," Michael says. "My lawyer will send yours all the evidence. You can try to contest it if you want, but you'll lose." "Michael, please, the kids. I'm picking them up from school today. They'll stay with me. You can see them supervised once we establish a visitation schedule through the court." "You're taking my children away from me? You took them away from yourself when you chose Rashid over them. This is just making it official." He hangs up. By 5 p.m., the story is spreading through their social circle like wildfire. Michael's mother has told her sisters. Rebecca's parents have told their parish priest. Someone has told someone else, and now everyone knows. Rebecca Torres had an affair with a man in Dubai. Left her children to fly halfway around the world to sleep with her lover. Destroyed her family for money and luxury. By 7 p.m., Rebecca's phone is exploding with messages. From friends, family, people she barely knows. Some are supportive, most are judgmental, all are invasive. She sits in the empty house. Michael took the kids to his parents, reading the messages, watching her life disintegrate in real time. Her best friend Carmen's message hurts the most. "I can't believe you lied to me. Used my address for his gifts. Made me part of your lies. Don't contact me again." Rebecca tries calling Michael's parents' house. His mother answers. "Please let me talk to Emma and Lucas." "You've done enough damage," Rosa says coldly. "Michael has custody for now. If you want to see your children, get a lawyer." Click. Rebecca calls Rashid. He answers on the first ring. "Habibi, I've been trying to reach you." "Michael knows," Rebecca says. Her voice is hollow. "He was in Dubai. He followed us. He has photos, videos, everything." Silence on the other end. "Rashid, this is very serious." His voice has changed. Less warm. More distant. "Legal implications. My family. My business reputation. I thought you loved me. I do care for you, but this situation is complicated. Perhaps it's best if we what?" Rebecca's voice rises. "If we stop talking, if you disappear now that there are consequences." "Rebecca, be reasonable. I have responsibilities. I destroyed my marriage for you. I'm losing my children for you. That was your choice. I never asked you to leave your family. You made that decision. Because you made me feel like we had a future. We had a fantasy. We both knew that. You can't blame me because your husband discovered the truth." Rebecca hangs up, stares at her phone, realizes that Rashid, the man she gave up everything for, is abandoning her exactly when she needs him most. She's lost her husband, her children, her family's respect, her friends, her reputation. And for what? For a man who's already moving on to his next special connection? Rebecca walks to the bathroom, opens the medicine cabinet, stares at the prescription bottles lined up neatly. The thought crosses her mind. This would be easier. Cleaner. She wouldn't have to face the judgment, the divorce proceedings, the custody battle, the years of her children hating her for what she's done. Just take all the pills. Go to sleep. Let everything fade away. Her hand reaches for the bottle. Then her phone rings. Emma's name on the screen. Rebecca drops the pills. Answers the call. Mommy. Emma's voice is small, confused. Daddy said you're sick. Are you okay? Rebecca closes her eyes. Forces her voice steady. I'm okay, baby. I'm okay. When are you coming home? I don't know yet, sweetheart. Soon. I miss you. I miss you too. So much. I love you, Emma. You and Lucas, you're my whole world. I love you too, Mommy. After Emma hangs up, Rebecca sits on the bathroom floor for an hour. The pills sit on the counter untouched. She lost her marriage. She lost her family's respect. She lost her friends and her reputation. But she hasn't lost her children completely. Not yet. And as long as there's any chance of being in their lives, she has to keep fighting. September through November 2023. The divorce proceedings are brutal. Michael's lawyer presents the mountain of evidence. Messages, financial transfers, photos from Dubai, Rebecca's own words about planning to maintain both lives indefinitely. Rebecca's lawyer argues that while infidelity is morally wrong, it doesn't automatically make Rebecca an unfit mother. She never neglected the children, never put them in danger, never involved them in the affair. The judge is unimpressed with Rebecca's defense. You lied repeatedly to your family, Judge Margaret Henderson says during one hearing. You used family resources to fund an affair. You left your children under false pretenses to meet a lover in another country. These are not the actions of someone prioritizing their children's welfare. Temporary custody is awarded to Michael. Rebecca gets supervised visitation twice a week, 2 hours at a time. Those visitation sessions destroy her. Emma, 9 years old, is confused and hurt. Why did you lie about Aunt Lucia? Why were you really gone? Lucas, 7, just wants his mommy back. When are you coming home? I don't like you being gone. Rebecca can't tell them the truth. They're too young to understand. So she gives vague explanations about adult problems and mom and dad needing space. Emma starts acting out at school. Gets in fights. Her grades drop. The school counselor reports that Emma told her, "My mom chose someone else over us." Lucas develops anxiety. Starts having nightmares. Needs therapy to cope with the family disruption. Michael documents everything. Every emotional outburst, every bad report card, every therapy session. All evidence that Rebecca's actions harmed their children. Rebecca's parents are torn. They love their daughter, but are devastated by what she did. They want to support her, but also believe she brought this on herself. You were raised better than this, her mother says during one painful visit. Your father and I, we worked so hard, sacrificed so much to give you a good life. And you threw it away for what? Money. Attention. I was lonely, Rebecca tries to explain. Michael was always working. Every married person gets lonely sometimes, Maria snaps. You work through it. You don't abandon your family. By October, Rashid has completely cut contact. When Rebecca's lawyer tries to subpoena him for the divorce proceedings, they discover he's returned to Dubai and has no intention of returning to the U.S. The man Rebecca destroyed her marriage for has moved on without a backward glance. Meanwhile, Michael is building a new life. The kids are adjusting to the new normal. He's dating someone new, Sarah, a teacher he met through Emma's school. She's kind, stable, present. Rebecca sees them together once at a school event. Michael and Sarah, standing close, laughing at something Lucas said. Emma holding Sarah's hand. The image shatters something inside Rebecca. She's being replaced. Not just as Michael's wife, but as Emma and Lucas's mother figure. November 15th. The final custody hearing. Michael's lawyer presents 3 months of evidence. Rebecca's continued emotional instability, her inability to provide stable housing. She's living in a small apartment and struggling financially without access to their joint accounts. Her intermittent contact with the children due to her own depression and shame. Rebecca's lawyer argues for joint custody. Points out that Rebecca has attended every supervised visit, has started therapy, is trying to rebuild her life. Judge Henderson reviews everything. Looks at Rebecca across the courtroom. Mrs. Torres, I want to be clear about something. Your infidelity, while morally wrong, is not the primary factor in my decision. What concerns me is the pattern of deception, the financial irresponsibility, and most importantly, the impact your choices have had on your children's emotional well-being. Rebecca is crying silently. However, the judge continues, I also believe that children benefit from having both parents in their lives when possible. Therefore, I'm granting primary physical custody to Mr. Torres, with Mrs. Torres receiving supervised visitation that will transition to unsupervised after 6 months of consistent attendance and demonstrated stability. It's not what Rebecca hoped for, but it's better than nothing. She can still see her kids, can still be part of their lives, even if just around the edges. The divorce is finalized on November 30th, 2023. Michael gets the house, primary custody, and the business. Rebecca gets minimal child support and has to repay half of the money Rashid transferred to her, which is considered dissipation of marital assets. She leaves the courthouse with nothing. No marriage, no children, except for 4 hours a week. No money, no reputation. Everything she threw away for a fantasy that lasted less than a year. December 2023. 6 months after the discovery. Michael is moving on. He's in therapy with the kids, helping them process the divorce. He's dating Sarah seriously now. Life is stabilizing. But something is eating at him. Something beyond the betrayal and the divorce. He's angry. Not at Rebecca anymore. She's irrelevant to his life now. At Rashid. Rashid Al-Mansour, who targeted a married woman, who sent money and gifts and promises, who helped destroy a family, and who's now in Dubai living his life like nothing happened. Michael starts researching. Learns that Rashid has done this before. There are whispers online, in expat forums, of other married women who had affairs with wealthy Gulf businessmen and ended up divorced and abandoned. Rashid is a predator. Maybe not in the legal sense, but in the moral sense. He targets vulnerable women, makes them feel special, uses them for ego gratification, then discards them when complications arise. And he faces no consequences. None. That's what eats at Michael. The injustice of it. On December 15th, Michael makes a decision. He creates a website, DubaiPredators.com. He posts the full story of Rebecca's affair, with all evidence, messages, photos, financial transfers. He includes Rashid's full name, photos, business details. He's careful to post only factual information, nothing that could be considered defamatory. Just truth, documented and displayed for anyone to find. Within a week, the website goes viral in expat communities. Other women start coming forward with similar stories about Rashid. Not just affairs, patterns of emotional manipulation, financial exploitation, promises that were never kept. One woman, Laura Henderson from London, shares that Rashid promised to divorce his wife and marry her. She left her husband, moved to Dubai, and discovered Rashid was still married and had no intention of divorcing. Another woman, Sophie Martin from Paris, reports that Rashid gave her $50,000 over 6 months, then demanded it back with interest when she tried to end things, threatening to expose their affair to her employer. The stories pile up. A pattern emerges. Rashid Al-Mansour is a serial manipulator who targets married Western women, exploits their vulnerabilities, and discards them when they become inconvenient. By January 2024, Rashid's business reputation is in shambles. Partners are pulling out. His family in Lebanon is demanding answers. He's no longer the successful, respected businessman. He's known as the guy who destroys Western marriages for fun. Rashid tries to sue Michael for defamation. The lawsuit is dismissed. Everything on the website is documented truth. Rashid tries to have the website taken down. It keeps reappearing on different servers, now maintained by a coalition of his ex-targets. By March 2024, Rashid has retreated from public life. His social media is deleted. His business activities are severely curtailed. He's facing consequences, finally, in the court of public opinion, if not in a legal court. Michael finds no satisfaction in this. Destroying Rashid doesn't bring back his marriage or heal his children's pain. But it feels like justice of a sort. like making sure the person who helped destroy his family doesn't get to just walk away. June 2024. Rebecca lives in a small apartment in Houston. She works as a receptionist at a medical office, a step down from the life she had as the wife of a successful businessman, but it pays the bills. She sees Emma and Lucas twice a week now, unsupervised. The visits are awkward, strained. The kids are polite but distant. They've bonded with Sarah, who's careful to never overstep, but who's become a consistent presence in their lives. Rebecca is in therapy, trying to understand why she made the choices she made. Her therapist, Dr. James Wilson, helps her see the pattern. A woman who never felt like she was enough, who sought external validation, who confused attention with love. You weren't just having an affair with Rashid, Dr. Wilson tells her one session. You were having an affair with the idea of being special, of being chosen, of being more than just a wife and mother. Rebecca nods through tears. But I destroyed everything for a fantasy. Yes, and now you're living with those consequences. The question is, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Rebecca doesn't have a good answer yet, but she's trying to be the mother her children need, even in these limited visitations, trying to rebuild some kind of relationship with her parents, trying to forgive herself, though that feels impossible most days. Michael proposed to Sarah in May. They're planning a small wedding in August. Emma will be a junior bridesmaid. Lucas will be the ring bearer. Rebecca will not be invited. On the weekend of their last supervised visit in May, Emma asked Rebecca a question that's haunted her since. Mom, do you regret it? Do you wish you never met that man? Rebecca wanted to say yes immediately. Wanted to say she'd give anything to go back and never respond to that first Instagram message. But she paused, because the honest answer is more complicated. I regret hurting you and Lucas and your dad, she said carefully. I regret the choices I made. But sweetheart, I can't regret things that already happened. I can only try to make better choices going forward. Emma studied her face. Do you still love him? The Dubai man? No. I don't think I ever really loved him. I loved the way he made me feel. But that's not the same thing. Do you still love Dad? Rebecca's eyes filled with tears. I love the life we had together. I love that he gave me you and Lucas. But the person I was when I married your dad, that person is gone. She died when I made all those terrible choices. Emma thought about this. Can people come back? After they make terrible choices? I don't know yet, baby. I'm still trying to figure that out. That conversation keeps playing in Rebecca's mind as she sits in her small apartment on a Saturday night, alone, watching television shows that don't hold her interest. Can people come back after destroying everything they loved? She doesn't know. But she's trying. Across town, Michael tucks Emma and Lucas into bed. Sarah is downstairs, cleaning up after dinner. His parents are visiting tomorrow. Life is routine again, normalcy. But sometimes late at night, Michael thinks about that moment in Dubai. When he stood outside Rebecca's hotel room, hand on the door, so close to confronting her. Part of him wishes he had. Wishes he'd burst in, made a scene, forced everything into the open right there instead of waiting. But another part of him knows he made the right choice. Waiting gave him control. Gave him time to document everything, to build his case, to ensure he protected his children. Still, there's something unsettled inside him. A part that wonders, if he'd confronted Rebecca in Dubai, if they'd had that explosive fight away from the kids, away from family, away from everything familiar, would it have ended differently? Would she have come to her senses? Would they have found a way to save their marriage? Or would he have done something he couldn't take back? Something violent, something final, something that would have destroyed not just their marriage but his entire life? Michael will never know, because he chose control over confrontation, chose law over impulse, chose to protect his kids over giving in to the rage that consumed him. Most days, he believes he made the right choice. But some nights, lying awake while Sarah sleeps beside him, he thinks about that hotel room door. About standing there with his hand on the handle, so close to entering, so close to, what? Justice? Revenge? Resolution? The question haunts him. What would have happened if he'd walked through that door? This is a story about choices. about betrayal and consequences, about the moment when a fantasy becomes reality and destroys everything in its path. Rebecca Torres made a choice to pursue excitement and validation over family and commitment. She paid for it with her marriage, her children's trust, and her reputation. Michael Torres made a choice to control his rage, to work through legal channels, to protect his kids even as his world collapsed. He got justice, but not peace. Rashid Al-Mansour made a choice to target vulnerable women for ego gratification. He eventually faced consequences, but not through any formal system, only through public exposure. So here are the questions I want you to consider. Did Michael make the right choice? Should he have confronted them in Dubai? Should he have handled it differently? Is Rebecca redeemable? Can someone who destroys their family through calculated deception ever truly make amends? Should Rashid face legal consequences? He didn't break any laws, technically, but he deliberately targeted married women and helped destroy families. Does that deserve punishment beyond public shame? What about the children? Emma and Lucas are the real victims here. How do you explain to kids that their mother chose someone else over them? How do they recover from that? And the biggest question, if you were Michael, standing outside that hotel room door in Dubai, knowing your wife was inside, what would you have done? Would you have walked away like Michael did? Or would you have walked through that door and faced whatever came next, consequences be damned? Leave your thoughts in the comments. This story doesn't have easy answers. It's messy and painful and real, like so many family betrayals that destroy lives quietly, far from headlines. If you found this story impactful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to True Crime Dossier for more cases that explore the dark complexity of human relationships, where love and betrayal, trust and deception all blur together until someone makes one fatal choice. Thank you for watching. And remember, the family that looks perfect on social media might be hiding secrets that would shock you. Everyone is one bad decision away from destroying everything they've built. Choose wisely.